Well, here. Cheers to that.
Why not?
What's going on, Crash Your Compass fans? So today we are doing another segment of
Take 5 Monster Edition. Now remember, this is the edition where basically, since it was Halloween and we're fresh off of the haunt season, we're going to be trying different snacks and treats from around the world as we interview our scare actors.
Yes, scare actors from all the different haunts, not just one particular area. So
why don't you introduce yourself and what haunt you are from?
I am Tyler. I'm from Queen Mary's Dark Harbor.
Right on.
Right on. Fantastic. That was a very, very good event, can I say. Overall, just beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful. And you guys did an incredible job. All the scare actors, the costume, the makeup, it was up there. It was like one of the tops, for sure.
Yeah.
So, good job to you.
Thank you.
Fantastic. And,
let's try our first treat.
All right.
oh gosh, yeah, so sorry. I apologize. Don't look, but I have Invisalign, and it's really gross. Yeah. Ow.
Just zoom in.
We're gonna zoom in on this.
Yeah.
As long as there's no spit strings.
Don't be spit stink. All right. I don't know where to put these now.
Nope.
Not in the bucket.
Not in the bucket.
Oh, hold on. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hold them until we get the tray, and then you can put them on the plate.
Okay. Awesome. And
Alright, so let's try our first treat.
so what are these, Bree?
These are from Mexico, because Jesse was like from Mexico. And basically, it looks like a cookie with a marshmallow and coconut on top. I think.
This is harmless. This is great.
Oh, sweet.
It only gets worse from here.
Well, I mean, this is just fine. What else do you have going on? This is my first time doing the segment, so what do you have?
Nothing. Nothing yet.
All right.
The suspense.
Yeah.
So does your character have a name, or do you have a haunt name?
My haunt name / character name is Creep, or The Creep sometimes I get introduced as.
So did you start at Queen Mary?
No, I actually started my haunt career in Pennsylvania at Dorney Park in Allentown.
Oh, wow.
Another Cedar Fair park, so I'm kind of sort of familiar with the Cedar Fair rigmarole.
Was it the same tier of haunt, like, or?
I wouldn't really. I'm trying to remember. That was back in 2008.
Throwback.
Yeah, it's a real throwback. I've been at this a long time. It was for the area. It was one of the big ones.
Okay.
But I think overall, it's kind of overshadowed by a lot of other major haunts in the country. But
Very, very
big,
cool.
not big.
Very, very cool. It was big for like the city.
Yeah.
And were you a slider there? Or?
I was not. I was just a maze monster.
Oh, very
they had
cool.
the same kind of rule where you had to have your second year on streets to slide there.
Oh, okay.
So the same kind of deal. With
Try to season the actors a little bit. Very, very
So
cool.
I was a maze monster there first before I moved out here to California, and literally Queen Mary, getting hired for Dark Harbor was the first job I had out here. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
And you stuck with it. That's great.
I stuck with it. I've been here at the Queen Mary since 2012. So
Very, very cool.
Dang, that's a long time.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
So you know your way around that whole. So are you kind of given free reign of like the entire land, or is it kind of like Knott's where you have to stay in a certain section?
For the Queen Mary, since it's a much smaller footprint than a place like Knott's or Universal, like I have, as a streets monster, full reign of the entire outside of the park, of the designated Dark Harbor area. Just can't obviously go into the mazes and stuff.
That's cool though. So that kind of means that like every night every night for any scare actor is different because it's, but you can just go around to any section and just, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's, the entire theme of the outside of the Queen Mary is generally the same. There's not like really zones, even though they like try to sort of make it that way on the maps and stuff. But it's all basically, as for the past few years, been kind of like circus and like midway themed carnival-like, very entertainment focused.
Yeah.
So being around all that is all fun.
It's very, very cool. There's a certain We
I
both
love-
say
yeah.
like there's a certain like just ambiance about Dark Harbor, especially when you just walk through the gates and you see like someone playing with fire, like doing fire dancing, and it's just like it's awesome. I absolutely love it.
I mean, you can definitely tell like that whole area, the whole place is just kind of like this vibe is just like intense and alive. Like everything is just moving
Yeah.
as you go through.
There's always lots, something to see and do
Yeah.
while you're there.
Oh no.
Pick one, Mike.
Well, I'm gonna
Nothing
pick.
in the tubes, just
And yeah, anything on
something
the
on the plate is fine.
This looks easy.
All right.
I think we got little waffles here.
Waffle.
Great, Bree.
Okay.
Keep this going, and we're fine.
We're good?
Yeah. I thought you said this was gonna get increasingly worse. This is getting increasingly better so far.
And then
So far.
we already kind of talked about your haunt history. Does your specific character Creep have a backstory?
Yes, he does. He was a lion and animal tamer of the circus in his living life. An unfortunate accident happened where his lions and tigers and all that escaped and got out of their cages, and as he was trying to stop them, he got mauled to death, and so he died.
As big kitties do.
As
Yeah.
as what happens, and then he wandered kind of in the afterlife for a little bit until like the ringmaster of Dark Harbor found him and brought him into their circus, where I met Evil and the Sliders, who are clowns, and basically been playing around with them for a while.
That's awesome.
That's
some pretty tragic stuff.
Your makeup makes so much more sense to me.
Yes,
now.
makeup has to make sense now.
And we'll definitely put up some images and some photos of you at Dark Harbor.
I have a separate question that I didn't write down.
Oh, for sure.
That involves your character. Where did the roaches come from?
The roaches were actually kind of something that I stumbled into. I was given a little plastic roach by another monster, and I just kind of went around and was like, oh, if I can't, he doesn't look that like I can scare him, so maybe I'll gross him out, and I'll like put the roach in my mouth, stick my tongue out, have the roach there, and then it kind of evolved from that. And then like this year I actually had like a bag of roaches I had with me, and I would put them in my pockets and like find people and hand them out to and stuff, and like spread my roach army. But it wasn't something that I actually planned on being a part of my character. It just kind of happened.
That's awesome though.
I love it.
That's great.
Love it.
Did you draw any inspiration from anywhere for this character?
Drew it mostly from like my cat, trying to act as like cat-like as possible, but still having my humanity there. It's like the fight between human and animal kind of thing going on. A lot of like my crouching and sliding from low positions or like different heights or whatever, I kind of picked up from like other sliders, like Death from Ghost Town and like a couple other people I've seen while visiting knots and stuff. I kind of like pulled
Yeah.
how I slide from there.
Very, very
character,
cool.
so.
I like that you guys start a little later in the season. You're able to go out to those other haunts and,
Yeah,
and
it's
check
always-
them out.
It's always a good time like to see what everyone has to like offer. Maybe even pick something up if we
Yeah. Refine it a little bit. And then
make it
your own.
our own. Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't always. So we're not like stealing, but we're like adapting and
No, I mean,
borrowing.
I don't think there's anything that you can that anybody can steal at this point, because I mean,
True.
good lord, everything has kind of been done. But I think you can take an idea and maybe just adapt it to
Make it your
yourself
own.
and make it your own.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
It's
that's
like,
true,
well, they
true.
did this way, but I'm gonna tweak it to this to work in my area.
Yeah.
this looks safe.
Let's just try. I think these are just wafers.
There is a dog hair. on it.
Chocolate. Chocolate.
Is there dog hair on it?
Excellent. This has been a breeze.
Glad you
Wonderful.
think so.
I tried to pick some good stuff.
But you were, yeah. Yes. Okay, so one thing that I wanted to ask you was, were there any particular moments that really stood out to you during this haunt season?
There's a couple scares I had. It's always a goal of any monster, especially a street monster and slider, to make someone spill their drink. Got that down.
Excellent. Do you guys like actively go after people who have like trees to their head? Like,
Some of us do. Some like I personally don't like usually try to. It's just usually like just happens. And then also I made someone spill their cup of corn, a cup of elote, shortly after buying it. So they only had a little bit.
You know, get the cord out of your face. Smack it out there.
Like I just turned, went for the slide and the scare, and it just fell into place. It was just like spilled on themselves, and then it fell on the ground. It was all over the place.
You're all achievement unlocked.
Like I literally had to walk off and hide behind some scenery to like laugh it up because it was so funny to me, and I was like so unexpected, and it was.
So, what's your favorite scare tactic to use to get those like huge reactions?
Usually I just kind of pull out of like another direction. Like usually I'll be facing some way, but I'll know that there's someone coming behind me, and then I'll just like spin around and do some kind of, if I have the ability to do the room to slide and whatnot, I'll throw that in there. But it's just usually a lot of like misdirection. Like I make it look like I'm going for someone else, and then I go for them. A lot of times that's just me hiding in the shadows and popping out, you know.
What do you find more effective, hiding in the shadows or doing the slides? What gets the biggest scare?
Usually I think it's the like, kind of like the popping out kind of thing, because they don't see me. Like even in a slide, like if I don't get a scare, it's usually like, oh, that's cool. So, you know, there's people who always go to haunts to see sliders, and so they always get excited when they see them. So it's not always a scare thing for them, but it's just entertainment, and that's fine with me.
Yeah.
But like actual scare-wise, it's always like the coming out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. The scariest moment in your haunt career. Now, this could be with like guest interaction, this could be with management, this could just be, you know, something that's happened, but what's been the scariest thing?
The scariest thing?
Oh,
Probably
that sounds spooky.
you work on a haunted ship. Yeah, I work on a haunted ship. So there's ghosts. Like because I was a maze monster for most of my, like half of my time there at this point. And there's been times where I was almost pushed over a railing by an unknown force in the boiler room. I
Well, that
don't go to the boiler
qualifies
room
as
anymore.
the scariest
Yeah,
moment in your career.
Yeah, that'd probably be the scariest, because the pool room is my favorite. I have a lot of like positive interactions with ghosts there, so it's not really scary. But yeah, I think the boiler room getting almost pushed over the fence.
Did you just feel a force? Just...
Yeah, it was like everyone I knew that was in the room, and like there was nobody else in there. We were all like lined up against like this railing that they had for like the tours, and I just feel like two hands just go to push me, and like my friends next to me are like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I was not. Like something was pushing me, and I was just.
They were like, "Yo, if you don't want to work here anymore, just like."
And that was, I think, that was like my first year at Dark Harbor.
How high up
Oh
were
my
you?
goodness.
It wasn't. It was really dark on the bottom, so I don't really know how far down it went. But and boiler rooms are gutted out, so there's these big, spacious rooms, and it's a platform with a railing. So I guess there's at least a good few feet. I don't know.
That's a whole lot of
nothing terribly like dangerous. I guess if you fell, it wouldn't hurt too much unless like it broke and you fell into the ocean. Or
Well,
lot of no
that's
kidding.
the scariest fucking thing I've heard.
And you're still working there.
I'm
It was
still
like
working there.
The ghost gave you just like your little hazing to start you off on your journey.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Okay. I have a question for Bree. When can we get WD-40? Fix this chair.
I'm gonna get paid. No, get like.
All right, this looks safe as well. Boop.
That looks like
Does it?
gum.
It's just
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What is this? It's not bad.
It's like fruity.
Tyler just went all in.
He did.
Yeah, he's just like,
oh, it's
"Ugh."
like
It's like
that Mexican
tamarindo,
candle.
yeah.
Mm.
Yes, that is what it is.
I'm not a huge fan of this. But I will
That
keep
is
eating it
some-
because you did.
That's intense flavor.
Good for you.
Good for you.
Where's it go?
No, I'm not.
Watermelon?
People eat this for fun?
No.
Yeah.
People eat it because they like it.
I guess so.
Next question.
Yep.
That is some intense flavor that is stuck in my teeth right now. Did that get spicy for you?
A little bit.
A little bit of a kick, but I'm
Was it Mexican candy?
I'm done.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
It's over now.
Probably had something in it.
Will.I.am asks, what would your dream?
Will I am.
Will.I.am.
Black Eyed Peas.
Yes. What would your dream maze / zombie if you could create your own?
Ooh.
That's actually a good question.
That's a very good one. Good job, Will.I.am.
Let's see. For maze, I'd probably pull something in from like one of my like nightmares as a kid, and I had a recurring nightmare with people. I guess they were like this weird amalgamation of like people with and animals. Like there were people with like humanoid like pig faces and like other kinds of things.
Yeah, that'll do it.
And it was like one of those things where it's like everyone I knew was like slowly becoming like turning into them or getting like, you know, kind of almost like a zombie thing, but not zombies.
So if you get bit by one of these humanoids, you won't turn into a humanoid?
I don't even know how, like, if you got bit, like, they would just be like, I'd be with one person who was fine, and I'd turn around, and then all of a sudden I'd be, I don't know, like this monster thing, and I was just like, that terrified me. And I still remember it, so it's obviously stuck with me, so I'd probably find a way to, like, translate that into, like, a maze or something.
I want to see concept art of this, so I can, like...
It's almost like a gene spice, like
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
As for, like, a street zone, I don't know. There's a lot that's been done already, but...
That one's hard, I think.
That was the harder one.
Yeah, because there's so many different possibilities you can do with the street zone, because it's just so much more open space, I feel like.
Yeah.
I keep preaching the same one, but somebody will listen to me one day.
One day. One day.
The toys one.
The toys.
I mean...
Sid's toys. Like...
That would be badass, though. Like maze, street zone, that's, no matter what, that'd be badass.
The costumes would be great for that, I feel like. It would be...
In...
Demons. Pirates.
Voodoo Demon Pirates. But all of it.
All
Yeah.
Voodoo Demon Pirate toys with the squeaky chair.
Yeah.
Don't worry guys, I'll be the squeaky chair.
The most nervous I got this season was in Lullaby, with that avenue of dolls that they had.
Yeah, that was some pretty
Man.
crazy makeup effects and like, well no, it was a mask.
It was a mask.
Actually, it was like a doll mask, but that one was pretty crazy. And we saw that person out on the streets too, and they were like giving us like a little wave. And then we saw him in the maze, and I don't know if it was the same scare actor, but it was cool that we saw him on both a street zone and in a maze, you know.
Yeah, from the opening of the gates, like, all the maze monsters have the ability to be there to rush the gates and greet everyone, and then they're out there for a few minutes and they run back to their maze.
Oh, I love that.
And they get in their position there
Okay.
when the maze is open.
That makes
So,
sense.
yeah.
But it's kind of like everyone gets the chance to be a part of the opening ceremony.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That makes me love, like, Dark Heart Raven more.
Well, that makes
I mean, I definitely love the way that we do it now better than when we did when I first started, where we had to do the monster run.
What was the monster run?
Monster run. Well, we would go out one of the side gates and walk our way around to where we were still out of sight, and then we'd get, as we were getting close to where they were lining up, and before, like, around security check and the ticket taking and whatnot, and we would take off and, like, we'd run past them screaming and just going all crazy and, like, shaking the barricades that made up the queue line and stuff, and we'd just basically just run back in another side gate. It would always, I hated doing it so much because it was, like, full sprint and everything, like, right before, like, first thing out the gate, and then we were, like, tired.
Way too labor intensive.
Like, I don't have the energy to scare right now, come back in, like, an hour.
Best stuff.
What is this nonsense?
All
So, Bree has us, I hope you know, Bree has us eating little bugs now.
Oh, God. I was not prepared.
Are they seasoned?
They are seasoned.
They smell a little seasoned.
You know, I actually was, like, given by some guests, like a kid who has had, like, a box of, like, crickets or whatever, and he gave me one, but I was too nervous to eat it. So I made another guest eat it. And then they got a token for it, and it was like,
Alright,
What's the
so
token?
This is optional, by the way.
This
You
is
do
optional.
not have to do this.
you do not have to do it. They are chocolate and coffee crickets.
Oh, you know, I can
I
imagine
like
this.
chocolate and I like coffee.
I can imagine this being good. I bet you won't even taste the cricket.
Sounds so crunchy.
It tastes nutty. I'm gonna tell you that, and it is very dry.
Well, here. Cheers to that.
Why not?
Okay, I'm good.
Whoa.
That
was like a
I heard a
hard-
pop.
Yeah. That was like an eyeball or something.
I'll tell you something right now. I got no chocolate and I got no coffee in that. That just tasted
God.
like a poof of sand. I bit into it. I was like, pff.
Mm-hmm.
Oof.
All right.
I
Well,
definitely said it tasted like sand.
that was wonderful.
Technically mean that you've eaten like one of your cousins or something, because you are the Roach King.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Two more to go.
Wonderful. We couldn't have provided our guests with like, here's some bread and water.
No.
Here,
So,
have a donut.
Now the weird question.
The weird
Ooh.
question.
What scares you?
Well, for a while, there was dolls and clowns. The two big phobias that people have. Now it's kind of like, I'm not really that afraid of them. I mean, porcelain dolls still have me a little bit, like, I'm like, you stay over there and we're good, kind of thing. I'm not like terrified of them, like one of my teammates, Cavities. And for clowns, I'm like, spending enough time around clowns at haunt and stuff is
Desensitized.
kind of desensitized. I mean, if I came across like back in the day, like a couple years ago, and they had like the random clown sightings, like I might be scared because it's a strange clown, like no one I've known.
would.
Yeah.
But
It's a good reason to be
Yeah.
afraid.
but yeah, but those don't really. I'm not really like scared of them anymore. I'm not like phobic as I used to be.
Is there
So
anything
no.
else, would you say, that like really gets under your skin?
Like at a haunt, not real life stuff.
Yeah, you don't have to go
At
to
a
real-
haunt, at a haunt.
Yeah.
I gotta say the drill noise in Tooth Fairy at Knobs
Oh, yeah.
always got me. It was
Yeah.
like the worst thing. I was in there like.
Yeah. Nails.
So I can't hear it. I'm having a good time. Like.
You know what I didn't like on that maze was the teeth chattering sound.
Oh, yeah.
I hate the
When
teeth
you go
chattering
through,
sound.
That was.
I don't like that because I just think of like teeth cracking and stuff.
That
I can't do it.
whole maze was gross.
I loved it though.
Any maze or whatever that has the smell of vomit is always gonna turn me
Oh
on.
yeah, that one's pretty bad.
It's not scary to me, but it's just gross, and I just want to gag myself.
That one's pretty bad. We went to Universal Studios Orlando Halloween Horror Nights, and they had a maze called Blood Pit, and it was about like under the Coliseum, like the workers that had to deal with all the body parts, and
Oh,
they
okay.
just pumped that maze full of, God, I don't even know what it was, but it was
It's
just like
that death
decayed
smell.
death smell,
Yeah.
and and it's in this dome tent, like sealed.
Oh.
So it's not like, you know how the tents in California where, there's like at least an air traffic flow, like you can go through. This is like in a dome, so it's pretty putrid in there. But I don't think it was as bad as some other things that we've done. Like eating a cricket.
Alright, so now it's time to play Bean Boozle.
Well, there's only two.
There's two. So
Enjoy.
here's how this is gonna work. You're gonna tell us, me and Mike, 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
Okay? If we guess what the lie is, you have to pick one of the cups and eat a bean. If we get it wrong, then we have to choose.
Option number one.
Option number one is I can speak 3 languages.
Ooh.
I
want that.
option number 2 is I've been a monster under the bed, and option 3 is I've owned a snake.
Okay, these are hard.
Okay.
This is well worth it, for sure. So we have to...
You may not ask the creep to demonstrate said languages.
wait, do we have to
may not
decide what's
ask
the lie?
We have to decide what's
Where
the lie.
the monster was under the bed, and you may not ask any other questions.
So 3 languages. Okay, you wanna go with that? We can go with
No, I don't know. You decide.
No.
Whatever decision you make, you're getting better at reading people.
Oh my god.
Wait, say the 3 again.
I can speak 3 languages.
Uh-huh.
I've been a monster under the bed, and I've owned a snake.
I've owned a snake. I've owned a snake.
What? Are we allowed to ask a follow-up question?
No.
Okay. Well, I think
Okay, you go.
you've been a monster under the bed. Is
That's
that
the
the lie?
That is a truth.
Oh! What was the lie?
I can speak 3 languages. I can technically
You
only
said
speak
it
2.
so convincingly.
I can technically speak 2, and then I know sign language, which you don't actually speak. So
So we take this. Cheers.
got a good one though.
Oh, did you get a good one?
What's it taste like? Victory.
I don't really know, but it's not bad.
That was sweaty socks.
I feel like we're taking pills. So thank you very much guys for watching this video. Go ahead and subscribe down below if you haven't. Like this video and always be ready.
Because you never know your compass will take
It
you.
smells like freaking socks in this room.
It's disgusting.